Hi, I'm Mark Marone. Welcome to Pet Keeping.
Today we'll spend some quality time with a pack of mini greyhounds, the small and sweet Italian Greyhound.
All on today's Pet Keeping with me, Mark Marone. I'm sure you've heard of the graceful sighthound, the Greyhound. But have you ever heard of its mini-sized cousin, the Italian Greyhound? Certainly just as graceful and just as gorgeous as the more commonly known Greyhound. If you ask breeder of champion Italian Greyhounds, Cheryl Shoa, definitely just as wonderful a pet, but only for the right person. Right, Cheryl?
That's true.
Would they be a good pet for me?
Well, it depends.
I had one many years ago. He was a blue male named Guido. Who's that in your lap there?
I have champion ASA Love Story, who's now getting down to play with her little sibling. And then I also have this little one who we're going to be calling ASA Miss America.
Who do I have here?
You have ASA Captain America.
Captain America? And where's the mommy?
The mother is, where'd she go? Crystal, Crystal, come. Crystal, come. Good girl. Good girl. This is champion Bo-Bett's Carolina Crystal.
She doesn't have ASA in front of it, but the puppies do.
Yes, they do. ASA is the name of my kennel. It's ASA Miniatures, and she came from a farm in Florida named Bo-Bett Miniatures.
Well, now tell me, did they really originate in Italy? I mean, we know that the Greyhound is an Egyptian breed of dog.
We don't believe that they actually originated in Italy. I think that they were more refined in Italy. I believe that they came from the Middle East many, many years ago. They're from the class hound Sighthound, which consists of Whippets, Salukis, Greyhounds, Afghans, Pharaoh Hounds, Ibethan Hounds.
Now, when people see these beautiful dogs, they're so clean and so elegant looking. I mean, when Guido would jump, he would jump on the fireplace hearth, and he would sit there, and he would look like a statue.
Yeah.
And people would not think that he was a real dog.
It's
so
true.
people are going to see this, going to think these are perfect dogs. But are they the perfect dogs for people to keep?
It depends on the person, depends on the household. If you have very small children, the children can generally be too rough with the dogs.
Yeah, the legs
dogs
are like little toothpicks.
Yeah, they're just tiny little dogs, but they're very playful and very high energy level. So you've got to be, I guess, a tolerant dog person. Probably an experienced dog person would be a better owner for an Italian Greyhound because they are fragile.
Now, what about training them?
They're kind of like training a horse. If you make them think it's their idea, they'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, or a cat, too.
Or a cat, exactly.
Well, most of the sighthounds are like that. I mean, they don't have that innate urge to please us the way like a golden retriever or a Labrador retriever do, and that causes some communication problems with people.
Italian Greyhounds almost communicate on a psychic level. They almost read your mind. She says, what is
she says,
that?
yeah, there's like such expressive faces there. Well, I would think because it's a sighthound, it's much more attuned to nuances in posture and our mannerisms than other dogs would be.
Absolutely.
And that would help them to, read our minds, just like you're saying, because they watch everything. See the big eyes set forward like that? They can see much better than other dogs can.
Yes, they can.
As a breeder, though, what kind of problems do you see a lot of people have with them?
As you mentioned earlier, they are fragile. They can break their legs very easily. And because they're such an agile breed, I have dogs that will fly over my island in the kitchen or jump onto the kitchen table and jump off and things like that. Their legs are just really fragile and they're hard to heal. One other thing I would say would be a housebreaking issue.
Now, why would that be?
They are very clean dogs. They don't really like to sleep where they go to the bathroom. But if they're confined in a crate, like, in certain instances, like if they come from a puppy mill, God forbid, what happens is they learn to be dirty. And if they learn to be dirty...
Yeah, and once that idea gets in their head, it's just like you said, the idea becomes their idea.
Exactly, and it's almost impossible to shift that idea. That's why a lot of them end up in rescue.
Now, I notice I've seen some really bitty ones, okay, that are smaller than yours. Hey, puppies, what is the ideal size here? Come here, puppies.
The actual size of an Italian Greyhound is between 13 and 15 inches at the shoulder.
You stack her here so we can see the unique build that these sighthounds have?
Lazy stand.
And what's the average weight on them? What does she weigh?
The average weight, she weighs probably about 10 pounds or 9.5 pounds.
Look at that. Look at the deep chest muscles.
They have the deep chest. They have the tuck up. They have the arched over the lower.
Now, what are the colors that you breed them in?
They come in black with white. They come in red with white. They come in white with red. The one that you're holding is a rare pied, P-I-E-D. And that means a white body with other colors on top of it. And she happens to have what's called a seal head, like a seal brown.
Now, I mean, Guido, my Italian Greyhound, he was the cleanest dog in the world. I mean,
they
there's
are.
nothing to grooming. What do you tell people as far as grooming goes?
Oh, they're wonderful. We have a joke. We call them the little naked dogs in the toy breed because everybody else has to do hair for hours and hours, and these are wash and wear.
Tell me some more good things about them, why people should get one.
Oh, well, that's one of the reasons. They're probably
They're
the
so
most
kissable.
affectionate little dogs in the world. They want to be with people. They are like people magnets.
And how much do you feed yours?
They actually don't eat very much at all. I'd say about a half a cup twice a day is really all they eat, even though all the books say about a cup and a half twice a day.
Well, when all our viewers see these guys bouncing around, they're all going to want one. So what
Exactly.
advice would you give people if they're looking to get a nice Italian Greyhound?
I would say do a lot of research, talk to breeders. Most breeders will do what's called an in-home visit to make sure that your house is Iggy-proof, because they're kind of like perpetual 2-year-olds.
Yeah, they don't stop
They never
moving.
grow up.
Yeah, they have
know.
2 speeds, dead sleep and then 1,000,000 miles an hour.
We call them 30-mile-an-hour couch potatoes. We call whippets 35-mile-an-hour couch potatoes,
the
and greyhounds
greyhounds?
are 40-mile-an-hour couch potatoes.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you for coming by, Cheryl. Your dog's had a good time. So when you're thinking of getting a pure breed dog, it's very, very important to learn as much as possible before bringing that dog home. Thanks, Cheryl, for teaching us all about the IGs, the Italian Greyhounds.
You're welcome, Mark.
Hey, puppy.